All right, and we're back here on the Crispy Compact Communiqué after our break to top off our various fluids. Although I've got mine right here, so I'm good to go.
I just
Uh,
I just have flavored water. Rich is rocking the entire jug of wine.
wee, yeah. Hey, salud. Hey, there you go.
There you go.
So yeah, it's time for the entertainment entree to start this part of the podcast off. Yeah, it's time to talk about one of the biggest superhero movies to hit this year, Deadpool and Wolverine. Fun fact: Rachel and I got to see this in the middle of like the day, and we had the whole movie theater to ourselves. It was fantastic.
That's awesome.
That
But
is
was it weird watching a comedy in an empty theater? Because I feel part of the experience is like laughing with the whole audience, or
maybe, but I don't know. I viewed it as a superhero movie, so I didn't care. I was just spreading my legs. I was spreading my body, like just like wee. Here we
were
go.
you running up and down the aisles?
Yeah, there was an Instagram story that Rachel took because she ran to the front and was able to do a video of me just sitting there all alone, just ready to go. Here we
That's
go.
awesome.
Yeah, but that
That's
is
amazing.
it's an experience I would recommend.
Okay. Well, I'll have to do that sometime. Just find an empty theater.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the movie itself. We both did get a chance to see Deadpool and Wolverine. This is, of course, one of the first. I think it's either one of the first or the first property to start pulling in those Fox properties to Disney's MCU. I think the big story here is that everybody was kind of concerned when Disney bought Fox about how they would integrate these. Yes, Rich was one of them.
Yep.
And I said numerous times that Disney is not in the business of losing money. And they know how to print the cash. And they know that when they have a good formula like Deadpool, they're not going to mess with it. And they came out with a hard R rating on this: blood, guts, profanity,
Yes.
sex jokes, drug jokes. What did you think? Did they quell your concerns?
Yes, they did. I was very pleased. I was very pleased with the outcome of this movie.
I think it was one of the more vulgar Deadpool movies.
Yeah. But yeah, I was glad that Disney did not really interfere with the tone of Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool. I thought they would try to hold him back in some degree, but no, they didn't. So I was very happy to see that.
Yeah, they really, I think they left it all there. They there was really no stone left unturned. Like I said, it was everything you could possibly want from a Deadpool movie. It was breaking the fourth wall. It was making fun of Disney, making fun of superheroes, the profanity, the vulgar, like everything you possibly want out of that property. Like you said, Disney, it seems like to me at least, didn't do anything to change that formula.
I love the
And
fact that they allowed Deadpool to make fun of like the previous Phase Four.
yeah,
He had a couple of jabs that was like, yeah, we're not really doing too good right now. Like I was
it,
like,
I
wow,
I think
at least they're
honestly,
self aware.
I think it was cathartic for Disney
Yeah,
because we'll get to another topic shortly. It was cathartic for Disney to admit, like, hey, it kind of has been sucking a little bit.
yeah.
And I think that was like, yeah, I think there was a little bit of self-awareness on their part, like, and a kind of what do they call it? A mea culpa to the fans,
Yeah,
like, yeah, we messed up.
it was a mea culpa. It was a palate cleanser.
Yeah,
It felt genuine, and I was it was one of those things. I was like, huh, all right. I'm glad that they're kind of acknowledging it, and they're gonna try and make it better from here on out. It's one of those things I can't. I hate to say this, being a Star Wars fan, but I kind of wish they would kind of do it with Star Wars in some degree. I don't know how exactly what would translate to a Star Wars version of
yeah.
it,
I don't know
but
how you pull that off, but
yeah, because there really is no avenue to even do that. But like it was nice. It was very cathartic. It was like, oh, all right, yeah, thank you, Disney, realizing that this past phase has not been good.
I know how they do it with Star Wars. They replay the last like 90 seconds of the ninth movie, and then all of a sudden it zooms out, and there's just a young Luke Skywalker, and he shudders. He goes, "Oh, whoa, that was
It
a
was all
weird
a
vision I
dream.
just had. It was all a dream, but it was a forced dream, so it's different." Um,
It was all a
but no,
dream.
back to Deadpool though. With all that being said, I mean, what did you think about the quality of the movie? Enough about the vulgarity and the humor and stuff. The quality, I thought that it was pretty good. The reviews haven't been too kind to it. It's kind of like middling in terms of the actual review scores, but I enjoyed it. I thought it
Yeah.
was funny. I thought that the fourth wall breaking was good stuff. I think there were a lot of great nods to fans and to superhero cinema history. Um, yeah, I mean, what did you think? I mean, like on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give it?
I would probably give it around like an 8. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was exactly what the Marvel universe needed to get its ass in gear.
Yeah,
It was honest. It was self aware. It knew its place in the cinematic universe. I love the fact that it was one of those stories where everybody had a redemption arc between Deadpool not being able to be an Avenger because you can't put Deadpool in the Avengers. That can't
right,
work.
right.
Between Wolverine having a motive to be better because in that version it's not the same one that died in Logan.
Which
Um,
I appreciate they addressed
yeah,
immediately. This was another
they
concern is
they ticked
how are they going to
off
fold it all in?
they ticked off all the boxes that they had to do to make sure that it wasn't going to lessen the effects of previous movies, which was
Yes.
huge.
Yeah.
That was done well. The self-awareness was done well. The self-deprecation was done well.
What about the
I loved
action
it.
sequences were also fantastic. I mean, the fight scenes were gory, they were funny, they were visually stunning. I mean, I thought it was a really, really solid movie
I
and
love
exactly what the MCU needed.
I love the fact that one of the most hyped fight scenes happened in the back of a vehicle. Like
Yeah.
what? That was to just perfect to a T. I don't know.
The opening fight scene was near perfection, I think.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. Yep.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. I mean, the only thing I think is if you want to poke something bad at it, the con of the movie, I don't quite understood what was happening with the Time Ripper. Like they didn't really. That was really just like dangerous device. That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
It's just a dangerous device that's going to explode. That's it. You don't need to know anything else.
I
I
mean,
even
it's a MacGuffin to like the
I even think Deadpool said something like, "Whoa, what a MacGuffin" or something like
yeah.
because they
I
didn't really explain like why is this important to the Time Variance Authority.
Right.
You
I mean,
know?
if you really want to look at it critically, like, there's no reason for this story to really be happening. Like,
Oh
I
well,
think
yeah,
that it was really held together very loosely, but I kind of didn't care. Like if you really want to look at it through their critical lens, like yeah, the story is just nonsense. It's just there as a vehicle for Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds. Um, but I don't know that I cared that much that it didn't make any sense.
yeah,
Because it's a roller coaster ride. You don't care if it makes sense. You're there for the thrills, you're there for the levity of it. That's how I viewed it. That type of quote unquote cinema. Um, but what about its place in the larger? Actually, before we get to the MCU, I do want to call out a few more things. One, the villain, Cassandra Nova, fantastic villain. I thought she was so cool. Um, I hope that they explore that more, and just the potential for that more. Um,
how about
and
Matthew McFadden? That was a random nice little random succession showing. I was like, "Oh, all right. Hello."
he was good too. I really liked, and it was weird hearing his normal
Yeah, it's
accent.
normal British accent,
The
yeah.
whole time I'm like, you don't sound right to me.
It's not Tom Wamsgams. Nope.
No, it is not. Definitely not. Um, but I think should we give everyone a spoiler warning because we have to talk about the cameos.
Okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
official.
So official
Woo!
spoiler warning. We
Yeah,
can't do the normal clip.
yeah, we don't have the clip. Yeah,
Oh, it's a spoiler, but just skip ahead a minute or two. But the cameos, Rich, were out of control. I
yeah,
could not believe that they did. I mean, the deepest of deep cuts. Wesley Snipes as Blade.
yeah. Well,
Like,
he needed tax money, so that makes
yeah,
sense. He needed a job.
but like Elektra, and then the best though I think is obviously the fake out with oh, I
Chris
can't remember,
Evans.
Chris Evans.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, come on, was that not perfect?
yeah. That was I mean, that was one of those things. Like he showed up, and you're just like, oh, he's Captain America. But no, you forgot. Oh, he was also in. He was also Fantastic Four. Yep.
Yep.
And I love the fact they pulled the switcheroo on that. That was brilliant. I don't know who came up with that, but that was
I
done so well.
I loved it. I was like, oh, what important MCU character is this going to be, or what like reference to the larger universe is this? And it's nope, it's just Johnny Storm. I was like, I cannot believe that they did that and they pulled it off, and it was hilarious.
How about also too when they land in the Void Land or whatever it's called, the Void? I don't know. He falls on the 20th century logo.
Yeah,
I love that.
so much good stuff. So much good stuff. Um, yeah, I mean, we could just, rave and rave about it, but I think the big question everybody always wonders is, about these movies, where does it fit in the larger MCU? Um, I think they did a decent job of kind of slowly folding in these Fox properties and just letting us know that yes, they all exist, but maybe what we were watching were other timelines and universes. They're setting up so that they're all kind of just existing simultaneously, and we just have to suspend our disbelief and, use a little bit of um, creative headcanon to know that, like, all right, those are all different, separate multiverses, but clearly they're all in the same larger world,
Well,
right?
here's an idea. Just let this be on its own.
Yeah,
This really shouldn't have a tie-in to the main MCU Avengers storyline. Other than the fact that Deadpool wanted to become an Avenger and he gets denied, that's it. He doesn't need any connection to that overarching storyline.
I think
I
that
don't
connection
think
is enough, though, too.
and I don't even think that would even work if they even wanted to. I think Deadpool is just so outrageous of a character and has such a different style that I don't think he even should be in like the main pantheon of the MCU heroes going forward.
Although
I
they,
think he works better as this kind of just he's on his own. He pops up every 6 years since the last movie. I think it
yeah.
kind of works out too that like it's been a while since we've seen Deadpool. He has so much to like critique on. Like I think the worst thing they could do is they try and pump up another movie. Like let this breathe, enjoy the success, and then just if Ryan Reynolds wants to do another Deadpool movie, wait another like couple years, and maybe until after Doom. Probably something will be stupid in Doom and in the Doom movie, and we could make fun of that. I think he benefits from like being separated from the main MCU lore.
But I do think that they made some. They did let us know that all these things are happening simultaneously because we'll get to this more in depth in a little bit. But like when Chris Evans showed up, he thought that he was Captain America. So it lets us know that one, Deadpool is aware of these other universes. He's aware of the Avengers, that these faces and names persist across these multiverses. So I think they're setting up so that he could be involved if they want him to be, but he doesn't need to be because he does exist in his own separate thing. And I think it's enough that he's just aware of it for the comic relief, for the fourth wall breaking, but he doesn't need to be in it in an explicit way.
No, and I think that would be a detriment. Like,
Yeah.
let
And
him
I
be
think they
separated.
and I think they used the fourth wall breaking as a way to conveniently write him out of Avengers things because they had him go and ask for membership, as you said, and they rejected him. So now we all know, oh, that's why he's never been a part of it. So is it convenient? Sure, but it does answer the question, why have we not seen him in a really easy way? And that's totally fine.
Yeah, and it tracks too. Like
Yeah,
he's
it
not
makes sense
supposed
that
to be a goody two shoes for Avengers. No.
right. Although they did Disneyify it a little bit at the end where they had him, sacrifice to become a real hero. So maybe they play up that and maybe they find a small bit part in a future Avengers movie. That they would I think that they would want to incorporate him somehow in an Avengers movie. But I don't think he's going to be a Spider-Man or a Thor or, one of the leading characters. He's going to have like a 30-second bit part, something like where Thor is holding him while he dies and Thor is crying. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that scene will happen, but it's going to be stupid, irreverent, and it's going to be, a tension breaker in whatever movie that happens in. It's not going to be a major. It's not going to be a huge like 20-minute subplot.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a good way to go to our next topic, which shattered the internet on Saturday night.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Robert Downey Jr. is back in the Marvel Universe, but not as Iron Man. He is cast to play the new big bad Doctor Doom because we got to get rid of Kang because
Yeah.
Jonathan Majors messed up majorly.
Oh yes, yes, he did. I think that the combination of Deadpool and the pivot away from Kang is such a breath of fresh air for the MCU and Marvel fans. And honestly, this makes way more sense than Kang Dynasty. Um, I I never bought Kang as a villain. Just like Loki season one, I was there. I was like, this is cool. But every single appearance he made after that made me less and less interested in the character. Like Loki season two, I couldn't care less. And then Ant-Man Quantumania, I'm like, you're supposed to be the most feared multiversal being, and you got beat by ants. Like
Yes.
the literal smallest animal beat you. And spoiler alert for Ant-Man Quantumania, like nobody dies. There was like he was just not a good villain, but immediately I'm interested in this Doctor Doom scenario. Um, one, like I said, it makes more sense than Kang because Doctor Doom is a huge player in Secret Wars, which is the final Avengers movie. So the new Avengers movie, Avengers Doomsday, takes the place of Kang Dynasty. And in my mind, it was always weird that they were going to try and do something with Kang and then do something with Doctor Doom and Secret Wars. It makes more sense to build up Doctor Doom over the course of an Avengers film, have the heroes lose, a la Empire Strikes Back, and then you come back in Secret Wars. It makes so much more sense to do it that way. And the final point I have on this, and why I'm really excited about this, I took some time to think about it, but the Robert Downey Jr. thing confused me at first. I'm like, it's going to be a really tough pill for MCU fans to see Robert Downey Jr. as a villain instead of Iron Man. How are they going to wrap their minds around that? We were just served a small like preamble to that with the cameos of Deadpool because it lets us know that one, these faces exist in other universes, but that they go by different names and roles. So we're setting up a situation where the heroes will recognize him, but then be shocked to learn that it's not him. And I think they can use that to really hurt the heroes. I know that sounds awful, but you gotta kill your babies, right? When you're writing or creating narratives to really make it feel big and important. So I think that they're going to use Robert Downey Jr. to kill their babies.
No. Hard
Robert Downey Jr.
stop.
is a baby killer. Yeah.
So, so you do think there will be some sort of Iron Man tie-in to this character?
There's going to be no Iron Man tie-in. The heroes are going to think that, oh, we found a universe where Iron Man is still alive, but spoiler alert, it's not. It's just Doctor Doom, and Doctor Doom is going to use that to his advantage somehow. Um, it's going to create a lot of. I can see it creating a lot of drama, a lot of tension, a lot of tears for our heroes as they grapple with the notion of fighting a face that they recognize, but in that universe is somebody completely different. Um, I think that's how they're going to handle it. I can't foresee them just straight up casting him as someone else without any kind of acknowledgement that it's the same, like, actual appearance, right? Like that, I feel like won't work.
Yeah, there's got to be some sort of recognition that he played Iron Man, or there's got to be something in there.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't make sense, especially like what you said with Deadpool. It's like these characters recognize faces that are similar, so you gotta at least acknowledge it. I mean, unless he just wears the mask all the time, which I don't think Robert Downey Jr. would agree to.
No, that'd be silly.
Yeah, but I appreciate this pivot because it like you said, yeah, it didn't seem like Kang was working, and then you had all the off the screen issues with Jonathan Majors.
Yeah.
It was just a big question mark of you're just like, where is this really going to work? Are we even going to go down this avenue? Especially with how bad Phase 4 was. I mean, I think it works out in the end that Kang is now just kind of a regular bad instead of a big
Yeah.
bad.
No, absolutely. They really botched the build-up for Kang. And now they have a chance to do it again with Doctor Doom and do it in a really impactful way. Um, and just leave Kang as being dead. Like they don't need to do anything
No,
different. Like
the
he
end of
like he's
Loki 2 was perfect.
yeah. Yeah, he's dead. He's dead. That's it. Like you don't need to do any kind of weird trickery or loophole. Just don't even mention it.
Yeah,
You know, simple.
yeah. So, very earth-shattering news there. My phone lit up on Saturday night with yeah,
Oh
everyone
yes.
texting. Yeah, because that was ridiculous getting that. I How about this? Just a quick question. I kind of wish though maybe that could have been like a surprise. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know why they announced it.
Yeah, I think that would have been better as like a surprise, like when you go into the movie, like oh my god, it's
I think it's because
RDJ.
they do have to get people used to the idea. I think they knew that outside the movie world, like, and already it's very divisive with fans because people are upset that the ending of, you know, Avengers Endgame might be ruined. But Kevin Feige explicitly said that they are going to honor that scene. They're not going to undo that, which to me leads me to believe that it's not going to be any kind of Iron Man tie-in. He's just going to be
Just from a different universe.
just from a different universe, but that the heroes will recognize him and not understand. And of course, the groundwork is laid there in Deadpool for that situation, but just do that, but without the humor.
Yeah. So it'll be very interesting to see where Marvel goes now into the future, but it's looking good now. Oh, did
Yeah.
you? I gotta admit, you probably loved the dig on DC when they had uh,
Oh, what's his name? Oh man.
Henry Cavill on.
Yeah,
Oh my god, that
as
was
one of the Logans, the Wolverines. Yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah, we'll treat you better over here. That was oh
Could that also be a hint at maybe a potential future Wolverine because Hugh Jackman is getting quite old.
never
So,
know.
you know.
All right, so with that, let's leave the entertainment world and go to our odd news, the non-fortune cookie news, odd news of the week. Let's launch into a story here. Going to Ohio in this
Oh,
story.
Ohio.
Yeah,
Okay.
no Florida. Sorry, Mike. Don't need you to do the catchphrase. Nope.
That's okay. I don't have one for Ohio though, so we're just gonna have to deal with it.
Yeah. So usually with victims of crimes, I usually feel bad. I usually don't kind of
Yeah,
rub it in their face.
right.
But
That's
but th-
what we should do.
but this one I do think we need to analyze a little bit here.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're doing a case here of theft here. Um, so this started with a scam to an Ohio woman. She lives in Mayfield Heights, which is outside of Cleveland. So there you go. Just nothing good happening in Cleveland as usual.
No, never.
At least they're not Detroit.
That's true.
Yeah. So the victim told police that she received a call last Tuesday from a number that appeared to be the customer service line for her local Huntington bank.
Okay.
So she thought it was legit.
Right. Yeah.
The mail caller told the woman that there was a potential fraud happening on her account.
Oh no. Okay.
So first, they asked her to move her funds into a different account.
Oh jeez.
Yep, it's one of these stories. Yep.
Oh man. All right.
So the woman went to her local Huntington Bank branch and withdrew her savings of $6,000. The
I feel
man,
bad. She doesn't even have that much.
yeah. The man then told her she had to go to a Chase bank to deposit the cash via iPhone's Apple Pay to
Oh
secure
my
her.
God.
To
Everything about this is so wrong.
yes, so
So,
yes,
so Huntington Bank calls and says, "We need you to move your money not to another account within Huntington, but to another account in another bank." Yeah, that makes sense. That makes perfect sense. How many times has a company contacted you and say, "Please take your business
we
elsewhere"?
need you just
Never.
temporarily to go to our competitor.
Right, to go to our direct competitor. But also don't make the deposit using like a normal method. Use it with like weird tap to pay Apple Pay.
Yes,
Send it via Venmo. Send me a
yes.
Cash App. Like, what in the world
Look,
is happening?
when
Give
when
it to me in prepaid MasterCard gift cards? Like, come on.
when
Come
Fortune
on.
500 companies transfer money, they use Venmo.
Of course. Obviously. Don't you know that I'm friends with Bank of America on Venmo? We Venmo
Yes.
each other all the time.
When Elon Musk is transferring ownership money from X to Tesla, he uses Apple Pay.
Right, exactly. He just
Duh.
taps. Of course.
Yeah. All the Fortune 500 companies do it.
You're right. We are supposed to feel bad for victims, but I am unfortunately quite upset with this one because how do you not smell something fishy there?
Yeah. So
So she
after
Apple pays Chase Bank.
yes. So after all this is done, then the man calls her again. They spend 2 hours on the phone, according to this police report.
Oh my God.
Yeah. At which point, they then ask her to put her camera on and, quote, I need you to do a body scan to verify your identity.
Come on. What? Are you
Yes.
serious? Did did she do a body scan when she opened the account at Huntington or at Chase? Why would she need to do one now?
Wow, they're
Oh
really
my
secure.
God.
They're
Right.
we are 100% A plus security over here.
Okay, so
We
they
need we need
scanned
your
her.
we need your height. We need your body mass index. We need your fat percentage.
Right, yeah. How many bowel movements did you have this week?
Yes, it's very important.
What size shoe do you wear?
Yes, these are all identifications. That's how you get into your account.
So she scanned her body. She sent them a urine sample.
Well,
Um,
so during the body scan portion of the new account verification,
of course, that classic part.
they asked her to be naked
Of course they did.
and
Oh my
asked her
God.
to spin in circles while singing a song.
It's all part of the verification process. We need to
folks,
hear what your singing voice is like.
folks, I've gotten to this point. She has not said no to anything.
That is insane. At this point, the guy on the phone's like, let's see what other crazy crap we can make her do.
I mean, look, you're in for a penny, in for a pound. Yeah, let's have a freaking show at this rate.
I just, oh my God. Like when she opened, come on now. She clearly has a bank account. So
Wow,
all
they
she
do,
has to
they
do
do
is like,
things different over at Chase.
yeah, right? What at what point in the series of steps does she not take a step back and go, wait a second, I don't remember ever doing a weird nude belly dance body scan for the bank people.
Yep. Oh yeah. Whip it out. Here we go.
She's probably thinking, well, at least I don't have to do this at the physical location.
Yeah, that would be awkward. We gave you your
Right,
sense of privacy.
right,
You can
right.
do this at
Normally,
home.
normally they make you do it at the teller station.
Yeah. Yeah, we're looking out for you now. We're giving you privacy. You can do this at your own home.
Oh man, so they do this to open an account. What do they make you do to get a mortgage? Jesus,
Oh my. Yeah, you got.
you don't want to know.
Yeah. You, yeah. Some other things that have been done in the odd news at this rate.
Oh boy.
All right. Well, apparently on the second song,
Oh my God. Come on. Are you kidding? On the second song? What song do they have her sing? Probably a long song like Stairway to Heaven. It's
uh,
like,
it doesn't say on the police report, but on the second song, that's when she heard somebody laugh,
oh my. Oh
and
God.
that's when she hung up and called the police. It took her
It's a
until then. She made
it
it.
took her to a naked dance and singing two songs for the bank people. Come on.
You know those bank people. They love their singing.
They really do.
They do
I think
karaoke jams every Thursday night in the bank. You didn't know that?
you know what's wild is like the most complicated thing anybody has ever asked me over the phone is like my birthday. Like I don't know. I just there's like such a discrepancy between like what you normally do on a phone and what these people were asking her to do.
Yeah. Boy, that Chase Bank, they really make you jump through hoops.
Really, yeah. It's very secure there, Rich. Okay? I don't know what shoddy third-rate bank you're using, but if they don't make you do a full nude body scan cabaret show, is
Yeah.
it even really a bank?
Uh, well,
I'm so upset and frustrated at this individual.
yeah. So, unfortunately, the cops are saying that the person was probably out of the country, and they doubt that they will be able to get the money back for her. But
That's what
uh,
happens when you sing naked for them.
yep. Um, Huntington Bank was asked for an official response, and they've said that their customer service will never reach out requesting information or doing
Yeah.
any tasks regarding your account.
Or doing any tasks.
Yeah, we've gotten to this point in 2024. These institutions have to make proclamations like this.
Yeah. Huntington Bank is like, we will never ask you to strip nude and sing us songs.
That
It's not
is
part of our
not
policy.
us. We assure you, this is not operating procedure.
While our customers may be so impressed with our customer service, they may regale us with a song. We will never request one.
Certainly not two of them. We don't have the time for this.
Right? Yeah, no, exactly. Two holes. Like, I don't know how you get to the second song. They're like, very good, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Can you give
And
us another one?
right.
May you please
Now,
give us
now,
another?
if you could you also sing this song for us? We'll display the lyrics on screen for you. Like, what?
Yes, it's actually karaoke time. We gotta
Also, did
gotta
she
do a
pick
whole
the
set.
song or did they pick the song? Like, there's so many, like, I just don't understand. It's so stupid.
Yes.
It's just so stupid.
Yeah. So unfortunately, I know this is one of those things where I don't like to kick people when they're down, but
No,
this
kick
story,
away.
this
Like,
story is just too ridiculous. This police report is too ridiculous. I had to bring it to the forefront.
I feel bad for victims. I feel bad when they get scammed because some of the scams are very elaborate. Like I get text messages. I even get them at work. They do these internal like security tests, and the test emails are worse than the actual scam emails. So I get it if people can fall for a cleverly designed scam. This was not cleverly designed though.
No.
This was a 12-year-old in like freaking Australia, right? Trying to steal money from this person.
Yeah.
Come on.
And trying to get a free peek at a naked lady
Yeah.
for
Unbelievable.
a body scan.
Body scan, right? Spin and sing. Turn left and cough.
We have to do a vocal analysis before you can enter.
Yeah.
So there you go. True story from Ohio. I don't know what to tell you.
I
These
don't
are
know.
these are the people that vote.
Ohio's a swing state.
Yeah, her vote's
Oh,
gonna.
no, oh no.
Her vote's very important. So get
Before they go to
ready.
cast their vote, have them spin in a naked circle
They-
and sing two songs. That's what you have to do to get into the voting center,
This
okay?
should be the requirement for voting.
Yeah.
You gotta do a full body scan and you gotta sing 2 songs.
Forget IDs and literacy tests and all those things. You know, we're gonna have them spin in a circle naked and sing a song.
Yeah.
That's
So-
my America.
There you go. That's the odd news for this week. True story coming out of Ohio. And with that, there you go. We got to start wrapping up this episode of the Crispy Compact Communiqué. Thank you guys for supporting us, even when we're not doing a full-blown version of the show. When we're on remote, and we got to do our remote virtual form of the podcast. If you like what you heard, make sure you go to our website, thecrispynoodle.com. Make sure you follow us on all the social media platforms. But most importantly, make sure you follow the podcast either on YouTube or Spotify. We put the video podcast up on YouTube, so go to our YouTube page, hit the subscribe button. But also, we put the video podcast up on Spotify. And if you have Spotify, you can also put Spotify on in the background and listen to us as an audio-only podcast. And you can take us on the go through Spotify using Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. So make sure you do all of that fun nonsense.
Absolutely. So many ways to check out the Crispy Noodle podcast. If you need to get in touch with us individually to share your sports, entertainment, or odd news stories, you can find us individually on X, formerly known as Twitter. I'm at Mikey Costanzo, MikeyCostanzo.
And I'm at Rich Liebig, RichLiebig. If you're on the video feed, it's the link up above.
I don't know where it is. Above.
Yeah, there you go. Catch us on X or Instagram there. But for right now, that'll do it. We'll see you guys next week. This has been the Crispy Noodle podcast. Let us be the Crispy Noodle in your vegetarian salad of life and boring news. We'll see you guys next week, hopefully in person, but I don't know. We'll see.
See you guys.
Later. Bye-bye, all you fine peoples. Good night.
Some of us have great stories, pretty stories that take place at lakes with boats and friends and noodle salad. A lot of people, that's their story. Good times, noodle salad.